Welcome everybody to the top producer interview session for Mortgage Mastermind Group. I am Paul Baxter. I am here with my good friend Mr. Chad Bates, founder of Mortgage Mastermind Group, and our mutual friend and top producer Mr. Ed Narowol. How are you guys doing today?
Fantastic, Paul.
Just doing tremendous here in Texas, and I want to thank my longtime friend Ed Narowol for coming on and sharing his wisdom. I think one of the things that I want to make sure right off the top that people realize is sometimes in this business we see people that kind of come and go. And Ed, you and I first met back in I think 1992, and
yes, sir.
And you know we've been just continue to stay in contact over the years. One of the things that's neat about this industry is to be able to forge really deep relationships, and I'm looking forward to hearing your pearls of wisdom today, and looking forward to seeing what I need to go back and readjust in our business also. But thank you very much for being on here, and it's just great to have a longtime friend with us on the line today.
Thanks, Chad. Glad to be here, buddy.
Well, one of the things I'd like to say about Ed, and I haven't, I've only met him just recently and had a few opportunities to speak with him, but the impression that I get and why I'm excited about this is what I see you doing a lot, Ed, is having a lot of fun with the types of marketing and the things that you're doing in your business. You're having a lot of fun with it, and I think it's important that and very cool that you're willing to share those things. That you're doing a great mortgage business, but you're having fun with it too, and that's really a cool thing to have.
Well, Paul, my thought, Paul, is you have to work hard and play hard. And, it's fun coming to work because every day we help change people's lives. And I use the terms helping people. And I just met with a client earlier, and we're talking, and he interviewed a bunch of different mortgage people. And the fact of the matter is, he said, Ed, you were very down to earth. And you told me straight up that if you didn't have the best program, you would find somebody that did. And he goes, I really appreciate that because this guy is self-employed also, and he realizes that there's no second place.
Mm-hmm. And that's a fantastic mindset to have in this business, that you really are every day going out to help somebody tremendously with the largest purchases of their life. The biggest transaction they're ever going to make. You're helping them with it, and it is a mindset.
I would add this, Paul. As I've studied top producers over the last 25, 30 years, that is an absolute consistent thing that we look at this as if we have the opportunity to help people. And people that are flash in the pan and come and go, they don't have that same mindset. But people that can weather the test of time, go through all the cycles that Ed and I have gone through, up and down, it's all focused on helping other people. And that's a real key point that we need to drive home to all of our members.
Absolutely. It's the mindset that you have to be successful in this industry. So, Ed, if it's okay with you, I've got some questions that I kind of know the answer to some of them, but I really can't wait to hear your explanation on some of them too. Are you ready? Can I dive right in?
Absolutely, buddy. Fire away.
You got it, my friend. So the first one, nice, easy softball. How long you been in the mortgage business, and how'd you get in it?
I'll tell you what. I started back in 1990. I've been doing mortgages for 24 years. I work with 3 different companies, and every time I made a change, I made it for a strategic reason. I was with my last company 18 years, specializing in construction loans, and became the expert in that business. And with the change in the economy, the real estate market today, I switched to my latest company, Fidelity Bank Mortgage, where they specialize in renovation loans. And in the state of Maryland, for instance, right now there was over 1,200 home path loans out there, with 75% of them were renovations. So I'm setting myself up to be the specialist and really go after the renovation loan business like I did with the construction perm.
Okay.
Well, that's
Have you always focused on niches?
Yeah, it's kind of like a surgeon. I call myself the mortgage doctor, and I look at a niche that a lot of people, are either afraid of, or they don't have the program, and they don't want to take the time to study it and really become an expert.
It's exactly what Chad was saying to us a few weeks ago. Is exactly that. It's to take those programs that others don't want to do and become an expert at them.
Well, I think it's really neat, Well, I mean, Ed and I have not even talked about this, but here he's identified the exact same number one niche that I've been talking about for months, and that's renovation financing. And Ed, tell me your thought process, and I'll share mine, but tell me your thought process as to why you zeroed in on that niche.
Well, I can tell you, when I looked at it, there was only 7 home path lenders approved for the state of Maryland. So I looked at it that my competition, there's only 7 of us, not 200 of us. And I said, I've done more loans, construction loans, than probably all 7 of the others combined. So my knowledge level is far greater than my competition, and I use that to kind of levy my my personality and my knowledge to get new business.
See, that's interesting. I look at the demographics of aging housing across the entire population of the United States, and I agree with you. My marketing philosophy, number one, is go where your competition doesn't go. And there are so many mortgage bankers out there that won't take the time to get to know how to do a renovation loan, and they're not that complicated if you break it down. But, you know, I had construction financing experience back in my banking days before getting the mortgage business. You've been a master of construction financing for years in Maryland, so, you know, construction is no big deal to us. But, again, for our members, that is a niche that it's like the 203K, Streamline, Fulls, other programs that are out there. There's just not many people that can do them and do them well and do them in-house. And if you don't have that in your portfolio, you're missing out.
Also, Chad, you just hit on a good point. There's a lot of people that want to do them, and a lot of companies say they can do them, but they send them to 1-800, who knows? And it's not done locally. There's no hands-on by a local loan officer, and everything's done out of state. And that's the one thing that I offer. It's like, hey, everything's in-house here. You know, you're dealing with me. You got questions, you got problems, you need inspections, you know, you need my advice. I'm here. You're not calling 1-800, you know, for help.
I call it 1-800 nobody's home.
I call it 1-800 who cares.
That's right.
So, Ed, you've been in the business for quite a while. What does your team look like today as it stands?
As it stands today, I have a loan officer assistant, Sergio. Basically, think of the doctor-nurse type situation. I'm the surgeon. I'm the doctor. I'm doing the hands-on working of the numbers. Sergio is my right-hand person, and he chases down the paperwork, gathers it up, works with the contractors, and also we have a processor. I do have a part-time marketing person who comes in 1 day a week and helps me with future flyers and website and LinkedIn and, you know, other things like that. I really need to grow it because I think in the spring the renovation world's going to explode, and I really need to be ready for that. So as of now, we have 3 people on my team and 1 marketing person part-time.
Is Sergio licensed?
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Now,
sorry, did you have a question about that? Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to ask this question real quick, Ed. I know you have, and we're going to talk about this later on, but you've developed your business such that you can take a good amount of time away. Does Sergio take your loan applications when you're out of town, or how do you structure that component, or do you still do over-the-phone consultations with your clients? How to give us a little insight there?
Well, basically, and we've done this for probably the past 15 years, maybe longer. Back when we got hectic with the refi boom of 02 and 03, I used to have people fill out an application and fax it in. Believe it or not, in the Stone Age, we faxed it in, had to type it in and all that. and my 2 assistants at that time said to me, hey, Ed, this is costing us an hour. Let's let them go online and apply. So today, we're probably 99%, maybe 99.9%, the client applies online.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, unless they don't have a computer, and there's one section of town, I don't think they have phone lines out there, but other than that, I mean, I get everyone to apply online for several reasons: time and accuracy. No one can spell my name or say my name correctly. And I tell people the same thing. I said, I want to be able to get all your information as accurate as we can, and if you input it, it's going to be the best.
That's a great way to position it.
I was just thinking the same exact thing. That negates any of that pushback about putting their information on a you put it back on them. This way you can ensure the accuracy of the information being input. Wow, that's genius. 99%. That's fantastic. I mean, golly. I hear a lot of people that have some fear about pointing people to their online application because the fear of pushback, or maybe they've had that case in a 1 in 100 that said, oh, I don't want to put my Social Security number on the internet.
Well, also there, Paul, too. I'll tell you, a lot of my friends are still from the old school where they want to input the application while they're talking on the phone, but they do a stealth app, which is real quick, 2 minutes, name, phone number, address, social, and then their assistant or processor has to fill in the blanks. So now you're chasing down someone to get more information, and you're wasting days and maybe even weeks trying to gather everything.
To say that's all time. That instead of 16 10-day closing, clear to close, you're at 30 days, and that's where that time starts to catch up, and then you've got fires to put out because stuff wasn't there at the right time.
Well, and again, I think I shared with you last week how I have my purchase application email where I got a signature email where I send them the link while I'm talking to them on the phone, and introduces myself with all my contact information, and it has them apply online, and it gives them a needs list of things we need, and I tell them apply online. Copy the information and send it to me. We'll basically upload your application, pull your credit, and pre-qualify you with the numbers you give me. And I can't pre-qualify you without the documentation supporting the application. And I think that's key. I think that's key, Paul, because too many lenders take a lot of verbals that they get egg on their face. And I don't want to give out a pre-qualification because my reputation's on the line. And, if it takes them an extra day or two, it's not my fault, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Ed, I agree with you 100%, and we've done that for years, and that there's too many loan officers across the country that don't take control of the process like that and will put themselves where their reputation is out there, and they'll give a pre-qual statement based on a verbal to the realtor, and then they get the W-2s or the tax returns, and it's all different, And, I mean, just don't do that to yourselves as a loan officer. Take control. It's like Ed's position is he's the surgeon. I mean, a surgeon doesn't go in wishy-washy about what they're going to do for a procedure. They go in and take control of their patient. And we need to take control of our clients because that's how we give them the very best service.
Well, and again, also there, Chad, I can tell you that every time I trusted, and it was twice in 24 years, I got let down. I got let down, and I just said, I can't afford my reputation, to say I screwed up.
There you go.
So one of the fun things that you like to do with your marketing is you do this tailgating thing. How did you get started with doing the tailgating, and how does it help your business?
Well, it started out with getting 6 tickets, personal tickets to the Ravens. Now, I think you shared with everyone the Steeler emblem before. Born and raised in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, went to high school at Jack Ham, so I have black and gold in my veins. And because of living in Baltimore, I also have season tickets here for the Ravens. And so I mix business with pleasure with these Raven tailgates, and it's something I've been doing since day one. The Raven's been here 17 years. We started out with 6 people. Gradually, friends stopped by. We went to 10, to 15, to 20, 25, 30. At the height, we had 49 friends that met every Sunday.
Wow.
And that requires organization because the first 3 games, you know, we drank beer and ate wings, and I had so many wings I could fly. And I started putting together themes and menus, and I assigned jobs to everyone and different food criteria. So it's super organized, much like our loan application. You got to fill in the blanks. Well, I fill in the blanks with my team, tailgate team, and as you can see on the one picture there, that was just taken, I believe it was last week. And you have food going all the way down, and you have the bar set up on the far end, looking right at the stadium. We made up a flag there, like a little thing there, Ed's Tailgate. We put that either on the back or on the front windshield. People, and again, I'm involved with a big group, but a lot of times there's, you know, couples that go, they don't know anybody, they don't have anyone to tailgate with, so I post our menu every Friday before the football game and let them know, here's where we are, and here's my phone number if you get lost, and please stop by and have a drink with us. And I give them the option that they can bring wings or shrimp to throw on the table, you know, to socialize with us. So it's organized marketing where I send this out to probably, I want to say 350 real estate agents and probably another 100 business partners, insurance people, title companies, and also past clients.
Now, Ed,
That's awesome.
You are the master at this kind of thing, and transitioning it from having fun and a tailgate to also developing business out of it, because you develop friendships with these folks, and then, but give our members a little bit of a taste. How do you end up segueing that from a great tailgate that obviously you have a lot of fun with to where you actually get business off of it?
Well, great question, Chad. I'll tell you. I do a mailing 3 times a year to my past clients and business partners, and for the football season, I order 15,000 Ravens football schedules. And I have the Ravens and Maryland local college team, and on the backside we have Monday night and Sunday night football. So it's a quality schedule. In the preseason, we have 2 preseason games. I take 100 magnets and walk around that parking lot right there and pass out the magnets. And for the last 4 years in a row that I started going hand-to-hand out there, I've closed 7 deals. It may be 4 from the first game and 3 from the second, or vice versa, but it's 7 4 years in a row. So basically, my preseason pays for my magnets, pays for my mailing. And I have, you know, 14,800 other magnets.
Which I'm sure all have your contact information on them, correct?
Well, they got my face, they got my email, they got everything on there.
Fully branded.
Fully branded, and we direct mail 11,365 people.
Just to get a cost idea, what to get 15,000 of those, you know, magnets with the schedule and your face on it, what's that cost to get 15,000 of that?
When you order direct like I do, if you put an order in of 10,000, you get the lowest cost break, which is 25 cents a piece.
Okay.
So it's about $37.50 or something like that for 15,000 magnets.
But you treat it as an investment in your business, and you're looking, you know what your numbers are, so you know you're going to get a return off of it.
Well, I would say the seven deals out of that by itself, he's got his return on investment, and anything else that comes from it is now, I mean, it's gravy. It's paid for the season tickets to put you in the parking lot.
Right.
It's paid for, you know, it's paid for the actual marketing materials themselves.
Right.
You know, there's a little upfront. I would be glad to put $4,000 into a machine to have it spit back out 14,000 at me.
Exactly, and not only that, but everywhere I go, and that's something that I can share with everyone. If you market, don't forget the local dry cleaner. Don't forget the local restaurant. Don't forget the takeout place. Don't forget the coffee shop where you stop in the morning to get coffee. Wherever you get a haircut. I mean, you go into my barbershop and there's a stack of them sitting there next to the door.
And everybody wants, you know, calendars, or, you know, football schedules.
Yep, and the magic word, it's free.
There you go. So Joy's got a great question here. You had mentioned that you mail 3 times a year, the magnets being one of them. What are the other 2 mailings?
Well, right now we're getting ready to do a 12-month calendar, magnetic calendar. All of these magnets calendars go on the refrigerators. So a 12-month calendar is going to be coming out. We're going to send it out the first week in December, and then I do an Orioles magnet that goes out the end of March.
Gotcha. So baseball season, football season, and then an end of the year kind of thing.
Yeah, because I'm trying to be in front of them. And if you think about it, think about the last time you had a social gathering at your home. Half the people were hanging around your kitchen, eating, drinking, and you're going into your fridge, 3 or 4 times a day yourself. but people see it, and they're constantly looking at my smiling face.
That's pretty good branding right there, my friend. All right. So you also you do a couple of things here. One of the fun things that you do is your Ed's annual barbecue rib throwdown. Tell us about that.
Well, that was something that, everybody likes to eat, and to make it fun, what I did was I said, let's have a throwdown. And the very first one we did about 5 years ago, we had four people enter. And of course I went and I got trophies, and all the cooks got to wear this apron here. But we had it set up for looks, taste, tenderness, and we had celebrity judges like a local newspaper writer,
okay,
a TV analyst. In fact, not this year, but last year, we had one of the owners of the Houston Texans come in with his grandson and son-in-law, and he was a guest judge. So we started out with 4 cooks, and last year was our biggest. We had 9 cooks, and we always have 6 judges.
Okay.
And so we just tally it up like we always do, and pass out awards and prizes. This year we switched off, and we switched off from ribs, and we did the Frank Perdue wing throwdown. And we had 10 cooks bringing wings in, and everyone had to bring 5 pounds of wings. So just imagine 50 pounds of wings for my tailgate.
Nice. That's awesome. And do you?
There's a common thread here that, Paula, I'm sitting here chuckling because I know Ed so well. Do you notice how he gets other people to do all kinds of marketing for him?
Yeah, he's got other people cooking for him. He's
the instigator, and then he gets everybody else to do everything. It's mastery.
he's an organizing specialist.
Well, yeah, but Paul, see, the real truth is I can't throw a contest and win every time. I have to let somebody else win.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's how you have to do it.
Nature.
Now, I didn't put this as a question, but I know you also do an annual appreciation, not a barbecue, but it's I think a crab boil for your past clients and referral partners and people like that. You do an appreciation picnic sort of thing.
Absolutely. We located a place that can handle probably 1,000 people. We direct mail 2,000. We send out 2,000 invitations. It goes out at the middle of August, and it's called Ed's Client Appreciation Party. We have it scheduled the first Saturday in September, and it's been that way for 13 years. This was our 13th year of having the party.
Wow.
In the height of it, we had a hurricane come through up here a couple of years back, and one year there we had 500 people attend. In fact, we had 2 years back-to-back of 500 people. One year, our biggest year, we were 4 short of 700.
Nice.
And again, as Chad said before, it's getting your business partners to help out. and we have a DJ, we have character artists, we had face painting for the kids, a beer truck, crabs, pit beef, pit ham. You know, it's kind of like whatever I'm hungry for. Like, what am I hungry for this year? And that's what we kind of have.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, this year it was probably one of our smallest. We had about 185 people show up. And what I'm finding out is, even though we sent out 2,000 invitations, the ones that can't make it, believe it or not, call in and email me and thank me and tell me why they can't come. And we probably had about 30-some people do that this year because they don't want to be left off the list.
Sure, they don't want to miss out next year. They just can't make it this year. Absolutely, that's awesome. And you know, like you said, I think the cool thing about it is you're not, you know, that foot in the bill for a party like that is not coming completely out of your pocket. You've got partners that are helping you with it. Your real estate partners, your title partners, your attorney partners. They're contributing and being part of it with you.
And also, Paul, the secret is right around 6:15, everyone's sitting down now eating crabs, and the party goes from 4 to 7. And we start out with feeding them the pit ham, the pit beef, all the fixins, the mac and cheese, and the salads, and the Mexican corn, green beans almondine, baked ziti. So they're having the main heavy course. Crabs don't come in till like 5:45. So we kind of fill them up, take the edge off before we bring out the crabs.
Nice.
And about 6:15, everyone is sitting down eating crabs, and we have it on autopilot where the DJ starts out by thanking everyone who's in support of the party, the cooks, the bartender, the servers. So everyone gets a plug. And last but not least, he calls me out, and I'm always in the very back of the room. And he calls me up, and he says, hey, I want to put Ed on the spot. He goes, hey, everyone, he goes, if we promise Ed to send him one deal, just one deal, from now to next year, Ed, will you throw this party again?
And everybody goes, ah!
He has them jumping and waving their hands, and he has the music banging, and he's playing Mr. Big Stuff as I come walking through the crowd. Get up there. He hands me the mic. And I say, you know, Joe, you know I'm a shy guy. I don't like to talk in front of people. I said, but let me just repeat that question. Did you say if everyone in this room sends me one deal, are you talking like a purchase, Joe? Are you talking about refining? How about a construction loan? Is that what you're talking about? And I said, the answer is yes. If you guys send me one deal, just one deal, I said, I guarantee. In fact, I've already booked it. You can put it right now on your calendar, September the 6th next year. We're going to be right back here doing the same thing over again. But I said, I'm going to put a little bit of onus on you. If you want the jumbo crabs next year, you're going to have to kind of work a little bit and send me one of your friends or family members to help pay for them. So those referrals are going to be important, and I need you guys to help me. And we kind of like laugh about it. Perfect. And I said, now I got one serious question. And I said, I want you to think about it. I don't want you answering right away. I want you to think about this. Do we want to have this stinking DJ back again? And he blows up the music. He has smoke coming out, and the whole place is screaming and yelling. And that's the only commercial that I do. That's the only commercial.
Perfect.
But perfectly scripted, Ed. I mean, you've got somebody else doing a call to action for you, and then you go through walking to Mr. Big Stuff. That's cool.
and listen, Chad, everybody walks away with a Special Ed T-shirt. They get a T-shirt, they get a mug, they get magnets, and, you know, of course, we're just saying, send us your friends so we can get bigger crabs next year.
Yeah. So this is a great question. Then, what percentage of your business would you say is referral from your past clients, Ed?
That right now is probably, I'm going to say, right around 80%.
Yeah. So you don't have to go out getting realtor relationships and what have you as much as, I mean, you're marketing to your past clients because you built relationships with these people, and I'm sure you're hanging around the face painting, you're talking to their kids, and the parents see you talking, interacting with the kids, and I mean, just a great concept. I mean, but you know, it takes a lot of work. But let's talk about I know you engage your referral partners. Give us a feel for what do you end up spending other than organizing this, and then what other partners, insurance agents, title companies, I'm sure, et cetera, who all kind of participate to defray the cost for you?
Well, you know, that's an excellent question, and let me just make a statement here. Really, everybody that works with you and helps provide the food and the services, what's in it for them? What's in it for them? How can I promote the guy who brings in the crabs? This year, the crabs, for large crabs, was $330 a bushel. Okay, mediums was $220. Smalls was $185. Now, I've been using the same crab guy for the last 10 years. When I called in, the guy on the phone gave me those prices. And I said, have Chris call me because I need to put an order in. Chris said to me, Ed, what did I charge you last year? I said, $150 a bushel. And I said, but I was a little upset because I got more mediums than I did large. And he said, well, it's not going to be that cheap this year. And he said, we'll give you more large than mediums. And he charged me $180 a bushel. But I made him up a flyer, and everyone who came through the line got a flyer and a business card. And it was a special. If you bought a bushel of crabs, he took $25 off with a coupon. If you bought a dozen, he took $5 off. So as I said to Chris, I said, what's the value of a new client? And how much do you spend in marketing to get a new client? And every one of my service providers, I give back and help them grow their business. So I got those crabs this year for $180 that were $220 and $330 to the general public.
But you give him some value because you've given him some really low-cost advertising, and you've given your past clients some value because they get a discount if they go see him. So, I mean, everybody wins.
He also has his banner up for 3 hours with his phone number on there everybody can look at. But I would say, you know, with the shirts, I mean, the shirts I get for $6 a piece, probably, you know, max out of my pocket, probably $4,000.
And partially because of this, obviously the other things, the other touch points, the mailers and the magnets, those kind of things, but it's 80% of your business. I mean, it has been that way for a long, long time, hasn't it, Ed?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, forever. And, you know, my attitude, Chad, is much like yours. Is, you know, you have to give to receive. And if I can't give value, I can't ask for, you know, any help or support. I mean, I want you to say, hey, you know, I want to help Ed.
Yeah, look, you told me a story when you were in our home a few years ago when Pittsburgh was down here for what I affectionately call the Ice Bowl because nobody could get to the game because everything was iced over. But you told me a story about how when you were growing up and how you saw your dad leveraging all these different opportunities, and that kind of ingrained that in you. Just give us a 30-second thumbnail of how you kind of began to learn that, because you're a master at this. I mean,
well, Chad, I was born and raised in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. You know, it's a coal mining, steel working town, and it wasn't my dad; it was my mother who ran the bar. It was my uncle, my dad, and my mother ran the bar, and she was the master negotiator. The meat man, the truck drivers would come in, and she traded shots and beers for watermelons. She traded shots and beers for a case of tomatoes. And, you know, we're talking a shot and beer back then of maybe 50 cents. and like, I'll never forget the one day where this truck driver came in and said, hey, I got some watermelons, you know, and your mother said, you know, she'll give me a double shot and 2 beers. And I said, okay, if she said it, that's good with me. He took everybody in the bar out to the truck, and he carried in 2 watermelon apiece. There must have been 10 of them. We had 20 watermelons for maybe $2. And I said to the guys, no, no, no. I said, you got to take some home with you. We don't have room for 20 watermelons. But she never paid full price for anything. But what she also did was she helped the people, sell off what they had left. The butcher, he used to come in on Wednesdays, pick up the meat orders, drop them off Friday. And guys would come in after working the mills and the mines and have a shot and a beer, pick up their takeout of meat, pay her. She stuck it in a jar. And it was a little cycle that she did. So, again, it's like that's where I was born and raised at, hardworking. I mean, every Sunday was my job to, wipe down the bottles, stock the coolers, clean the bar up. So, that was my roots, and I never forgot it, So she helped me grow to where I am today with, marketing and so forth.
Well, and the neat thing is your mindset is, and this is really key, is you don't go into this like what's in it for me. You're always looking at how can I help my partners? What do they need? And so many small businesses out there, the crab guy may be really good at getting the crabs, but he may not be very good at all about marketing. And you're a master marketer, and that's a valuable service that you're providing, and you're looking for a win-win, and that's just superb. I applaud you.
Well, also, Chad, I can tell you, I just picked up 3 new agents, and I sat down with them for a 1-hour consultation, and I opened up with, and this is key, what can I do to help you? And that question blew them away because no loan officer ever asked how they can help. They want to sell and sing and dance what they can do, but they didn't find out what the person needs.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 weeks later, I'm doing business, and I said to the one agent, I said, what did you get going away from our meeting? And she said, I can tell you. She said, we get loan officers banging on our doors every day. She said, you opened up asking a question, and you ended our meeting by saying, if there's anything I can do to help you grow your business, call me. Call me. So that was the, that's helped me a lot. And now I use that all the time. I just say to people, what can I do to help you?
Well, and one of the things that we teach, we did a class on this a few weeks ago, is going in with a needs assessment, and it's all centered around what are the needs, getting to know the realtor, but what their needs are. We don't present anything. We don't sell anything. We could say we're going to come back to you with some ideas on how we can help you grow your business. We kind of have a strategy like that. We've got a system that we put together. It won't surprise you, Ed, but it's no different than what you're saying. It starts with putting the focus on them. It's not about us. It's not about what we have in our bag of tricks. It's helping somebody with their life and their business, and you do that, you're going to have people following you all over town. I mean, it's just
absolutely.
Where am I? What other networking strategies do you deploy? Do you go to association events? Are you active in a B&I group of any kind?
Great question. Again, as you can see, everything kind of revolves a little bit around food.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, brother.
The local real estate agents yesterday were having a continuing ed course, and they wanted somebody to bring in lunch to feed 35 agents. And most people would bring in subs, or they'd bring in pizzas and so forth. Well, I'm all about eating healthy. and I went and called up the local Popeyes, and I ordered a box of spicy chicken, and I ordered a box of mild. I got some bags of salad and some salad dressing and so forth, and I stocked a cooler full of soda and water, and got there like 5 minutes beforehand, so the smell of the chicken just kind of went through the room, and everyone was coming out, and they could smell it, and I'd say, hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I said, I was cooking this morning. And I said, I just got up here, and everybody goes to line, and they said, this smells like Popeyes. And I said, well, I said, that's my special seasoning. But we went and fed 35 agents for $100. And when they're sitting down eating for 45 minutes, I'm walking through, passing out my flyers, gave them all a pen with my phone number on it, and I gave them some of the top programs that we have. And there was a couple agents in there that I work with that had some unique situations. And I said, for some reason or other, everybody can do the vanilla and chocolate deals out there. I'm what you call the rocky road. And for instance, I said, Gil, how about that holding tank? Remember when you called me about that holding tank? Could we do a loan on a holding tank? And I said, step up here and kind of tell us what happened there. And this guy says, I called 5 different mortgage companies, and nobody would do a deal on a holding tank. Septic system, that's bad. And he goes, Ed calls FHA, calls VA, and he comes back. He could do the deal with one circumstance. And I said, what was that? And he goes, they have to qualify with pumping out the tank once a month. So 35 agents just got a new nugget that 5 other lenders couldn't do.
Yeah.
So,
and a third-party endorsement from one of their own.
Exactly. And again, I'm walking around. This is Cecil County. This is pretty laid back. I got on blue jeans and a golf shirt. No need to intimidate them. And I'm thanking them and taking questions. And when I left, everybody said, hey, Ed, thanks for cooking. And I said it was my pleasure.
Perfect. I love it. And it's little things like that. That $100 is probably, the investment there, what it's going to return for you in terms of relationships. And you and I discussed that yesterday with another strategy to go into that with and having an idea of who the producers in the room are so you know who to focus your time and efforts with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, it's just, looking out, get involved with a lot of stuff. This next picture that you have here, the wadded poster, we actually use that poster in our mailing for Christmas. And, we tell everyone that we need loans, purchase, renovation, refinance. We need business. Now, this happens to be one of the big managers from Under Armour. He has a wiffle ball championship game in his backyard. And
that's awesome because I love wiffle. My son and I still play wiffle ball.
And I said to him, let me help sponsor this thing. And he said, well, my brother-in-law's in the mortgage business. I said, that's okay. I said, he could probably, stand a cup and some pens, And as soon as he walked in, the brother-in-law walked in, he goes, what the heck is Ed stuff doing here? And he said, well, he asked to sponsor this. Well, he had something like 25 players. I think there was 12 teams and one spare with a couple referees and umpires. So, you never know. And the people there that can get you in, this guy, like I said, is in Under Armour. I've done his loan. I've done his neighbor's loan. So, again, grassroots marketing.
That's it. And every one of those teams probably had a set of parents for each one of the players.
Exactly.
And he took the business away from the brother-in-law.
Exactly.
Now, do you do presentations yourself? Like, do you go out and do actual live presentations?
Great question. In the past, I did construction perm workshops. I did them 3 times a month. 10 months out of the year for 12 years, straight to the public, educating the public on how to buy a lot and build a custom home.
Okay, so that was consumer direct presentations?
Exactly. And that was in the height of the building stages. And today, I just got approved with 3 different companies to teach an hour and a half continuing ed for renovation financing.
That leads me to my next question. What is the process? Because I knew how you were going to answer that first one, so that led me to this one. What is the process for getting set up to do CE presentation? And I know you can't speak about all the states, and every state is a little bit different, but for you in Maryland, what was that process like?
Basically, what you have to do is you have to have an outline, and it has to cover 90 minutes, and you cannot put any company logos, phone numbers, names, or anything on it. It's a very generic handout, and you need to go through it. But in starting out, I put it together. I went to the different schools that are licensed. They took the outline, they took the information, they took my bio, and they sent it into the Real Estate Commission.
Okay.
That takes roughly 30 days to get approved, and I went with 3 different real estate schools because each school covers different territories. I just got approved with one this week, and they cover RE/MAX, Long and Foster, and Keller Williams.
Nice. Nice. And the thing, so the process in Maryland, like in Florida, you have to get approved to be a teacher first and then get your class approved. So in Maryland, you get your class approved and just affiliate with the schools to be able to teach it.
Correct.
Okay.
And then in Texas, you have to go with a provider, in which case we actually are filing to be our own provider. And it's in some states you have to give all of the entire documentation of the course. Texas, you don't. You just have to give a summary of what you're going to be teaching, and they give you a lot of latitude. But obviously they look at your resume, they look at your references and what have you. But each state is different. Colorado, you have to get the entire class approved because I got a friend that I help with up there. So, but I'll tell you, this I think is one of the best strategies for getting in front of a large number of agents, giving them some value. And the thing is, they're going to walk away from that class saying, Ed is the expert on renovation financing, and as I come across a house that needs renovation, I'm going to make sure it gets to Ed because he's the expert.
That's absolutely correct.
Well,
Ed, go ahead.
Also, guys, if you're going to teach these classes, the schools ask you if you want to get paid. And I always say no, give them a discount. So they get a $5 discount from me for coming to the class. And what I started doing, and I got one in November with this new school that just got me approved, I'm doing 2 classes in that same location. I'm having a 9:30 till 11 o'clock morning class, and I'm doing a 6:30 to 8 o'clock evening class. Because I'm not sure about where you guys are at, but up here there's a lot of part-time agents that have full-time jobs and can't make it to a morning class. So I decided that, hey, I'm going to do 2 and catch both ends of it, get a bigger turnout. And this school asked me, would I go around the state teaching it? And they do the marketing, they do the advertising, they do everything. I just got to bring in coffee and donuts.
There again, Ed's delegating to somebody else. You see a common thread here? It's mastery.
I'll tell you what, if you do all the marketing, I'll bring the donuts.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if that'll work. What do you guys think? Huh?
I like it.
That's fabulous, Ed. I mean, it's now,
Ed,
this is something I want everybody to pay attention to. If you're multitasking, stop. You need to listen to this.
This is one of the most common strategies. Everybody knows that you're supposed to, contact your, the birthday thing. You need to contact your client on their birthday, whatever it is. But you kind of take the whole birthday strategy to a whole different level. Can you kind of break down the steps of your birthday strategy?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a person that goes through my database and gives me the birthdays a month in advance, and we have it borrower and co-borrower. So I know today, for instance, I have my list. Let me just tell you real quick on my list here. I have, oh goodness, we have 2 borrowers, and we have 3 co-borrowers that I have to call today. What we do is we send out a card with a $1 scratch-off. And it would say something like, Paul, scratch a winner, happy birthday, Ed. Okay?
Short and sweet.
That $1 scratch-off, believe it or not, sticks in people's minds. I've been doing this for like the last 8 years, And on top of it, I do a personal phone call 7 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. Christmas, New Year's, Mother's Day, Father's Day, it doesn't matter. A birthday is the most important day to the person. And when I call some people, it's a joke. And the first thing is they start laughing. They say, hey, Ed, I won $2. Or, hey, Ed, you screwed up. You sent me 2 scratch-offs. I won $5. And, you know, when I get them live, I talk to them. And on weekends, and here's the key, on weekends, Saturday and Sunday, you need to call them after 5 o'clock. During the week, it doesn't matter. I usually call anytime during the day, and I'll be calling out their name, and I'll be saying, Paul, where are you? Paul, pick up the phone. Paul, it's your birthday. I thought maybe you took the day off. That's my opening line. It's not stiff. And I go, hey, it's Ed from Fidelity Bank. I just want to give you a call, wish you a happy birthday, and let you know I was thinking about you. Oh, by the way, if any of your friends or family are thinking about buying a beach house or refinance, because now you know the rates just dropped down, please pick up the phone and give me a call. Paul, you have a great day, and again, happy birthday, buddy. Take care. Friendly, right to the point, and I throw the commercial in there, not to them, but to their friends and family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I want to break this down. You know, so everybody's got a birthday strategy or knows that they should. I'll say that, okay? But you know, it goes back to our tagline: strategy, systems, implementation. That's what Ed has done a very, very consistent job of. You've heard how long he's done the tailgate. You've heard how long he's done the client appreciation day, the crab thing. You've heard how long he's been doing the birthday thing every single day, regardless of whether it's Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, or New Year's Eve. But he's taken it from, you know, the typical loan officer knows they need to do something, and that most of them don't do anything. Then there's a few that say, well, I'll just turn it on my database and I'll shoot out an email to them on their birthday. But that's kind of impersonal, right?
Mm.
Then Ed takes it to the next stage and sends out the card, and then to finalize the whole thing, he makes a phone call to them. I mean, he's got all the bases covered, but it's the consistency. If I have to say there's one thing that I've learned from Ed Narowol, it's he consistently implements what his strategy is. He gets a system for it. He's got somebody that gives him a list for the month. That here's the birthday list. He's got it right there in front of him right now, as you can tell. I mean that's how you get things done. I mean, that's how you make things work. Build a schedule and build it.
Also, Chad, remember Saturday and Sunday it's after 5 o'clock. And the reason you do that is because during the summertime people are having a cookout and there's a gathering. If not, they're going out to dinner. And the last thing I want them to know is that, hey, I called, I care about them. If there's a family in the backyard, I make them call the birthday boy in, and I personally talk to them. And you know, I tell them, if you're having a party, I'm upset because you didn't invite me. And I go deep with the friendship, and I even say to them, what the heck are you cooking today? And it doesn't matter what it is. It's always my favorite. And I tell them, next year you better invite me. So if they're going out to dinner, I want them sitting there waiting for their meal, talking about the crazy mortgage guy that called them again this year, didn't forget, called him and wished him a happy birthday.
Yep. Who was that just called? You're not gonna, the mortgage guy just called me and wished me a happy birthday. That's awesome. You know, yes, they do. I guarantee you they're talking about it, especially if they're having a barbecue with friends sitting around the pool. That's awesome.
Well, again, it's,
do you on your birthday cards, are they like go down to Walmart and get, you know, 75 cents or $1 birthday cards that you get to combine in bulk, or are they branded just to you? How do you do yours?
my marketing person did a flyer with a cake on it that says "Happy Birthday," and nothing fancy with some candles on it. And basically, it just says "Scratch a winner," "Happy Birthday, Ed," and it's just a flyer that I photocopy.
Nice.
Multicolor photocopy with a $1 scratch off and a couple business cards.
So you don't even get a birthday card, but it has you branded in there, but it's just Ed, so
Yeah.
really low key. And
Yeah.
does it have your phone number and all that stuff on it, or no?
It's got a couple
Just on my
cards in there.
business cards. Just on my business card.
So you include a business card, but your flyer is more just happy birthday, Ed.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. It's I'm not selling it. It's a special deal. I'm not selling them. I'm just.
You're celebrating their birthday. I mean,
Exactly.
You thought about them enough to, and you've done it every year for the last 8 years, so that now it's building that top of the mind awareness. I mean, you've got several different layers of contact here with your past clients, and that's why you're at a mature business that 80% of your business is past client referrals.
Once you do business with me, you don't forget me. And
because you don't let them forget you, though.
That's exactly what I was going to say, and that's the huge thing. I mean, you laugh at it, but that's really the way that, surveys, they dictate it it's plain as day. 80-something, 90% of people said they'd do business with you again, but only 7% or 8% do. It's because they can't remember who you are. You don't let that happen. That it sounds funny, but I'm going to tell you right now, that is probably the single greatest thing any business owner of any kind of business can do is don't forget your clients. You've made them feel a certain way. They've done business with you. You can't let them forget that.
Also,
because
Paul,
that's your best cheerleader.
Also, Paul, think about it. They got 3 magnets. Okay, they got 3 magnets. They got an invitation to my party, and they got 1 or 2 personal phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically touch them 5 or 6 times a year. Oh, also, I just did a voice broadcast. With the interest rate so low at 12.05, I sent out a voice broadcast to 1,076 past clients.
Did you do that through SlideDial?
No, I did that through Arch.
Okay, Arch. Okay, very cool. So, what are you currently working?
Implementation. That's the whole thing.
Yep.
Purposeful plan implementation. These things didn't happen just because it was on a whim. He's got a purpose behind it, and he's planned it, and then he's implemented it consistently. That's the whole key. Most people don't do the consistency part. They'll try this, they try that. He's got layering. It's very purposeful in his approach.
Yeah, but the key is, I think you hit the nail on the head right there, Chad. The key is absolutely consistency. Any strategy that you do, if you don't do it consistently, it will never ever produce results for you. It's got to be consistent. And with doing something 17 years and doing something for 13 years in a row, and for the last 8, that's consistency, guys. No, he doesn't pick up the phone every day when he calls those birthdays. He doesn't get a referral every day when he does it. But I guarantee you, doing it over the last 8 years, he's got more than enough businesses come back that it is more than worth his time.
I got to share this real story real quickly because it's the epitome of what Ed does consistently. But get an email from a title company who had a loan fund this morning. There's probably 10 people in the email, and she says, it's excellent working with y'all. Thank you very much. And then my people email back, y'all been great to work with also. And then she takes advantage of the opportunity and says, by the way, we love refinances also. So I had to interject, and I sent an email back saying, little lesson to everybody here, you don't get the business unless you ask for the business. That's the basics of it. But Ed's taken that to a major league level of consistently being in front of them all the time, and he sprinkles in very, very, kind of a low key. Has the disc jockey set him up for the, if we give him one deal, you want the jumbo crowd. All that's purposeful. It's not doing this one, just by accident. He's got it planned, but it comes across as flowing through, just mastery.
And doesn't forget to ask for the business at each turn. So, Ed, what are you currently working on implementing in your business right now? What's your new pillar of success?
Well, it's going directly to the realtors with the CE classes. My goal is to teach the classes openly at least twice a month, and then I'm going to also put on 1-hour workshops in my office conference room for consumers.
Okay.
And I'm setting that up much like buying a home in today's market, short sales, foreclosures, bank REOs. Come in, talk to the experts. Let's go over some strategy on buying your next home. So consumer, again, that's been my past, education, also educating the realtors, do the class and let them know that I'm going to be working with their buyers if they want to send them there, and help educate them to get them approved for the next step.
Awesome. So the new strategy you're implementing is presentations to both consumers and realtors through CE, as well as through educating consumers directly about the specific niche, the renovation loan niche.
Let me ask you a question, Ed. On your consumers, how are you going to get those folks to come to your conference room, the consumer direct educational component? What's your plan there?
Email blast. I'm on LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm starting Mortgage Mondays. The first one went out this week. If you look on LinkedIn, you'll see Mortgage Mondays. And I'm just subliminal educating everyone that I'm in contact with on LinkedIn, which the last time I checked, I had 6,200 and some contacts. It's just buying brain cells. I probably have 1,200 friends on Facebook, and just positive stuff, month in and month out.
Well, and the neat thing is, I suspect that a lot of those consumers, I know from our past experience has been the case, the consumers will come and they won't have a realtor at all, and so you educate them, and then they raise their hand and say, how do I get started? Well, let me refer you to one of my realtor partners. That way we're generating business back to them, not just asking for them referrals to us.
Correct, and that's why my next mailing in December, I'm going to have booked out for the year the classes that I'm going to do for the consumers.
Awesome, and you'll have that on those calendars. That'll be perfect.
Fantastic.
So tell us a little bit, now you've got me smiling, so one of the things, I'll just have you tell us about Puerto Rico. What does Puerto Rico mean to you, and tell us what you do there.
Two things I do there. First of all, you're looking at my office on the left.
And that's an actual photograph too.
It is. I took it right off his Facebook page, guys.
This is my office. There with my little boogie board, my little pillow for my head, and if you can look down in front of the boogie board is my cooler. And this is where I spend about 4 hours a day contemplating and working on my marketing strategy. But basically, I go to Puerto Rico 8 times a year. I start out in October, and it's anywhere from 7 to 10 days, going into January, which is 10 to 14 days through May. I needed to get away. I needed to put systems in place. I need to call my business partners. I need to filter out my brain and get myself into mental shape to go back and attack for another 14 to 21 days. And now it's not like I'm not doing business. I get up every morning at 6 o'clock. I make my coffee. I check my emails. I check my voicemails. I make my breakfast, make my lunch. 8 o'clock, I make my phone calls. So I'll call people back from 8 till 8:30, 9 o'clock, hit the beach, come back in the afternoon. I'll make phone calls in the afternoon, check my emails, and some people I can't call till at night. So I'm still working. I'm doing a normal work shift like everybody else is, but I'm doing it in 85-degree weather.
On the beach.
On the beach. Looking at the picture there on the right, that's coming from my balcony, looking out at the ocean, and you got that little rainbow there. So that's me looking out at the water from my condo, and that gets you rejuvenated.
Well, I tell you, that rainbow it probably signifies that that's your pot of gold comes right to that beach, baby.
It does. That's like, there was several to choose from, and I took that one just because I knew it was a picture from his balcony, but it had that pot of gold leading right down to his beach.
Well, and what he didn't say about his time blocking schedule, but I know Ed very well to know that it's the part with the pillow and then what have you. There's a power nap that's fit into that time blocking schedule in the afternoon somewhere. So
he did mention that after he's done with his calls in the afternoon, some people he can't call till the evening. Well, that's we like to refer to that as siesta.
Yeah, that's a perfect power nap time, right?
Exactly.
Siesta, baby. All right, so Ed, here's the, and we've talked a lot about the cool things that are happening in your business. Here's the hard questions. What's the biggest challenge in your business, and what process do you have in place for overcoming that specific challenge?
The biggest challenge is, in my past life, I was a builder guy. For 18 years, we dealt with 80 builders. We had 80 approved builders in 5 states. So everyone thinks of me as the hard hat. I had to switch that identity now to work with realtors, and educating the realtors is my biggest challenge, and that's why I went into the CE classes. And I basically tell them, I don't want to take money away from your present lenders. I just want to get you paid on deals that they can't do. So in order for me to gain the realtors now, I have to teach them and show them that I have programs that nobody else does.
Very cool. And so the CE is the way that you're overcoming that challenge that you were up against with getting to know and educating the realtors.
Well, it also gives me, like Chad said, the specialty, and I'm the
Expert.
the surgeon, the surgeon for these programs.
Love it. So the really serious question of the day, when's the next trip to Puerto Rico scheduled?
Well, remember I told you I'm doing a double CE class November 11th. I'll be flying
so you're flying out on the 12th?
I'm flying out on the 12th.
There you go. I love it. I love it. Guys and girls, Ed, I can't thank you enough. I love hearing, like I said in the beginning, the thing that caught my attention about you specifically is that you're having fun with the things that you're doing. It's generating a lot of business for you, but you're having fun with it. And I think that's something that all of us can use a little bit more in any business that we're in. Guys, girls, if you could please do me a favor, take a minute and thank Ed for sharing his time and his business with us today. Just go over to facebook.com/mortgage mastermind group. That's the fan page, and just leave a little comment. You'll see the message of today's class. Just leave a little comment under there, just thanking Ed for sharing his time and his business with us today. I can't thank you enough, Ed. I love what you're doing. I love that you invest enough in yourself to take that time in Puerto Rico. It doesn't matter where it is, but I love that you take that time to invest in yourself, and I love that you're having fun in your business, man.
And my friend, it's always great visiting with you, but for you to share in depth what you've done in your business is just priceless. And so thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to us getting together soon. And I'm gonna have to knock out Mr. Frost out of that coaching spot and tell him that that's on my bucket list now. So it's time to move over and let me have a turn. So
Exactly. Thanks a lot for having me, guys. If you guys need anything, let me know. I will be fine-tuning a couple things I'll share with you to post out there for everyone else.
Well, thank you for being on our faculty, Ed. It's greatly appreciated, buddy.
Thanks again, guys and girls. Have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you right back here, same time, same channel next week. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you on the flip side.